Chapter 17. The V8 5-liter Cammer.
Takumi!
Bunta yelled, running forward, as did Jesus. They got up to them as Manuel ran and started to chase after that van on foot, Jesus stopping him by grabbing Manuel's arm.
Oh, no you don't!
He shouted.
Where do you think you're going?
Let me go! They're getting away! Manuel yelled, struggling against his father's grip. They got him! We need to go after them!
Go after who?
Bunta demanded.
We just chased both of you down through lunch hour traffic in a cab. Kid, you better explain yourself right now, damn it.
Manuel's cell phone then beeped. He got it out and looked at it. It was the alarm to his garage unit. One of them was still here. Manuel then broke free of Jesus. You want your answers? Follow me. Vinny and Moto looked through the garage unit they had broken into. They knew it wasn't their style, but it wasn't like they were taking anything. They were just looking for any clue to lead them to Throttle. The homing beacon said his bike was somewhere in this garage. Vinny then saw a motorbike next to a small car, both covered by sheets. Vinny pulled off the sheet, and his heart raced. The bike was Throttle's.
Moto!
He hissed.
I found his bike!
Moto walked over.
That's Throttle's bike, all right. Now where's the mouse to go with the motorcycle?
They heard footsteps. They turned around and saw a bunch of humans outside the garage door.
I have a feeling that these guys know,
Vinny said, charging forward and grabbing the closest human's shirt, then raising him up by the collar.
Where is he?
One of the adults in the group then punched Vinny in the face, causing him to drop his catch.
Hands up my son, you giant rodent!
The man snapped in a Hispanic accent, holding up his fists. The second man, Japanese, then assumed a martial arts stance.
Takumi, go get the police,
the man said.
Slow down. We're just looking for their friend.
A woman in blue jeans and a mechanic's top shouted, walking up. She was accompanied by a man in black jeans and a t-shirt wearing a red baseball cap.
And who might you two be?
The Hispanic man said.
My name is Charlie. That's Jaden. Now, if you two gentlemen will calm down, I can explain everything.
So let me get this straight. These Martian mice came to Earth to stop some fishman from stealing our resources. Then when they finally took him down, they were heading back to Mars when they were shot down by who knows what.
Bunta said, recapping as Manuel, Itsuki, Igatani, and Takumi looked over his ransacked apartment for any clues as to who took Throttle, with help from Moto and Vinny.
Yeah, basically,
Charlie replied.
I don't believe this.
Jesus said.
I'm calling Selena, even though she'll have a cow or two over this.
Manuel looked up from trying to salvage what was left of his computer. You're calling Mom? Now? Dad, are you shitting me? Jesus just ignored Manuel and started to dial the number.
Well, this doesn't surprise me that much,
Bunta said.
Wish you told us sooner, but like I said, it doesn't surprise me that much.
Have you lost it, Bunta?
Jesus said as he waited for Selena to pick up.
They've been hanging out with giant alien
mice, I know,
Bunta said, trying to keep a straight face as he realized what he'd just said.
But kids will be kids, especially these days. I've basically seen it all, so like I said, I am not that surprised.
Jesus just scoffed as the phone started to ring. He began speaking to a woman in Spanish, going over near what was once the door to Manuel's apartment. Manuel felt like he was going to snap. His mother, Selena, had just arrived, and now she and Jesus were trying to blame each other for the situation that Manuel was now in.
You let him race? After everything that's happened? And on top of it all, he's been hanging out with giant alien mice.
Selena snapped.
I never should have approved of this delivery business of yours.
And how is that my fault?
Jesus countered.
He never tells me anything, Something he learned from you!
Mom and Pop continued to argue out in the hallway as Manuel, Vinny, Moto, and the others checked through his apartment to find some clues as to where they might have taken Throttle. Did they leave anything behind? Manuel asked.
Sorry, Manny. No luck yet.
Vinny answered. The apartment phone rang. Manuel sighed. Just let it go to the answering machine, he said. Jesus and Selena walked back in as the answering machine then clicked on. It spoke Manuel's greeting. Hey, you've reached Manuel. I can't come to the phone right now. Leave a message, or don't.
Greetings, Manuel Fernandez. No doubt by now the other rodents are with you. I'm terribly sorry about what happened to your car, but business is business. Anyways, long story short, I have one, and you have two. However, I'm in a sporting mood, so I will leave you this offer. If you want to free your friend and save him from what will be a horrible fate, you have two options. One, you can either turn the other mice into me in the center of town, with no tricks or strings attached by the end of the day, or two, you can enter and win the Speed Master competition that is coming to Boise in 2 months. I know of how your brother took part in that contest in California. Let's just say I have a good eye and ear for details. If you don't bring me the remaining 2 biker mice by the end of the day, I'll take that as option number 2. Though, I don't see how you'll be able to pull that one off, considering you don't even have a car. I'll be waiting for your answer.
Manuel turned to Moto to ask him if he knew who that was. He saw Moto's right eye glowing with rage.
Limburger.
Wait, you mean Fishman?
Iketani exclaimed.
I thought you said he was toast.
We thought he was toast. Guess he's a little harder to get rid of than we thought.
So what are we gonna do?
Vinny asked.
We don't even know where Limburger is, or where he could be hiding Throttle in this town.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Jaden said.
Boise's big enough to hide him pretty well.
Manuel was standing there, assessing his options. Then he spoke up. I'll do it. Everyone's eyes were on Manuel. He then explained. I'm entering the Speedmaster competition. Jesus nearly fell off his chair and Selena's jaw dropped.
What? No, you are not, young man. I forbid it.
Selena put her foot down.
Yes, so do I.
Jesus snapped.
I've lost one son to that monster of a race, and I refuse to lose another.
Dad, Mom, with all due respect, shut the hell up and knock it off, Manuel growled. You've always preached to me about doing the right thing, even when neither of you didn't. Like it or not, I'm entering the competition. Read my flapping lips. I'm going to enter, and I'm going to get Throttle back.
But how can you enter?
Takumi asked.
Yeah.
Iketani agreed.
In case you forgot, your car got, perforated?
Manuel walked to the door. That's just one car. Follow me down to my garage. Everyone entered the garage where Throttle's motorcycle was. Next to it was a car covered by a white sheet surrounded by a bunch of boxes. Oh yeah, Vinny said. I forgot that was there. Manuel then pulled off the sheet. Underneath was a blue 2-door Ford Focus ZX3 SVT. This was a project that Hector never got to finish, Manuel said. He left it to me when he died in the hospital after the accident. I didn't want to touch it, but now I have no choice. Bunta frowned.
How is a front-wheel drive 5-cylinder Ford going to win you the Speedmaster competition? Even if we maxed out the engine and threw in a transmission kit, it still wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be able to keep up with the other cars at all in its current state.
Takumi looked at Bunta.
Dad? With all due respect, how do you know that?
Bunta got a bitter look on his face as he fished a cigarette out from one of his pockets.
Because I once entered the Speedmaster competition when I was in Japan.
Itsuki instantly went wide-eyed.
What? No way! You were a Speedmaster?
Bunta lit up his cigarette.
No, I wasn't. I was beaten by a guy named Kaito Kirafuda, and he cheated. He sabotaged my car's engine and it failed during the race. Of course, I could not find any proof since there was no security in the pits, but I know he did it. He's the only person I've ever lost.
He sabotaged your car, Manuel asked. And you said his name was Kirafuda?
Yep.
Bunta said.
He didn't earn the Speedmaster title, something I'll never forget.
Then we have something in common, Manuel said. I always thought Hector's death was not an accident. He lost to a man named Yuya Kirafuda. Bunta looked at Manuel.
That's his son. You mean to tell me he sabotaged your mother car?
Manuel nodded. It seems that way. He killed someone that time. My brother Hector. Bunta sighed, taking a long puff off his cigarette.
Now we have to enter. This car's gonna need a lot of work, starting with the engine and drivetrain.
The engine and drivetrain are already done. That's where Hector started to modify it. It's four-wheel drive. As for the engine, it just needs a few minor mods and a tune-up. Manuel then walked forward and got in the car, popping the hood. Underneath the hood was racing gold. The engine was a supercharged Ford V8 Cammer crate engine with a cold air intake. It just needs a performance computer hooked up to it, not to mention the general service. Certain parts of the car are also reinforced to deal with the extra power the engine puts out. Manuel then pointed out a roll cage as he got out and pointed to various reinforced chassis parts. Bunta whistled.
I bet a Ford's SVT team did something like this. I just didn't expect an enthusiast to take it this far.
Hector loved to see how far he could push his cars, Manuel said. He then pointed to the boxes. Those contained the rest of the parts that he was going to use.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Vinny shouted.
Let's get to work. We only have 2 months until the competition. Good thing Charlie brought all those tools with her in the semi,
Jaden said.
I'll bring it around so we can load the car into it and then take it to a local garage with the parts to get it finished.
Jesus and Selena looked at Manuel, worried for their son.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Jesus asked. Manuel gave his dad a look, then got the Focus's key from his key ring. I'm sure.